Where do you see the market going in metals, but also in other commodities? We've seen gold and silver racing up, then the big banks trying to pound it down, but it seems they're not having as much success. Chinese starting to dump the dollar, other nations publicly dumping the dollar. How long can this hold, or can they just keep playing games forever? Because normally gold would be going down in the summer. What are we going to see this fall?
Well, I think the rules about gold going down at this time or that time, you can throw them out the window. Because of the intercession into the markets by the United States government and others in the manipulations that have gone on, that anything can happen at any time. The suppression of gold has happened because central banks, in conjunction with one another, were gold sellers, and they have been over the past 10 years or more. And, we saw England selling gold at $275, sold out three-quarters of their gold, and now they're offside about $7 or $8 billion that they threw down the sewer, so to speak. But the point is this: they only had 33,000 tons. My guess is they probably get less than 5,000 tons left. And how they've been deceiving everybody is that they have been leasing gold to bullion market makers, which would be J.P. Morgan or Goldman Sachs, etc. And they would take this gold, and they would either pay 0.5% interest or no interest, or sometimes they get paid to take the gold off the central bank's hands. And they would sell it into the market to depress the price at certain times. Now, what's happened in the interim, the central banks didn't want people to see them doing that, so they leased the gold to the bullion dealers, who in turn sold it. The little trick here is that in their accounting procedure, all of these central banks are holding this leased gold on the books as still having had it, when in fact it was sold long ago. So I tell you that because they don't have much gold left.
That's what I was about to ask you. I've seen that in the news where a lot of big nations and corporations are starting to say, we want our gold out of your vaults.
Well, Germany just asked for theirs. Switzerland asked for theirs. And, I got a question today by email. Well, why are they doing that? Well, very simply, they don't trust the illuminists running the United States government anymore.
That's what I was about to say. When you start seeing countries moving their gold reserves out of private central bank vaults, that is that's like seeing a giant thunderhead with lightning and wind blowing at you, and it's boiling towards you. You don't have to be a rocket scientist to know that the economic tumult we're already in is just the very leading edge, Bob.
Well, it's like lightning over the Treasury building. And incidentally, Dubai has asked for their gold from the British. And so I think there's a few now countries who would like their gold in their own vaults.
So is this the heading towards the exits?
Be more.
Is this the heading towards the exits?
Yes, I think it is. And I don't think they can get away with this leasing facade much longer. And I don't think they have much gold left to sell in the market anyway. And so I think that this is going to come to an end, and I think it will come to an end as soon as gold and silver break out. And they're both in reverse, head and shoulders formations technically, which means, and these are long-term formations, which means that when they do break out, the two of them will go berserk. And I don't think it's very far away. And that's why Ted Anderson and I and others have been saying, look, take this opportunity created by the illuminists of driving the prices of these metals down to where they should not be by buying them. And then when the leverage disappears and gold and silver take off, you'll be able to keep your wealth intact, and you might even become wealthy.
Bob, what's the time frame on this then? I mean, gold's up, 50-something bucks in the last week. Silver's up a few bucks. I mean, do you see it going up before it goes back down for another, testing a bottom, or do you see it just racing back through like we had last summer, but instead of going up to 1,000 and something, 1,200, 1,300, 1,400? I mean, are we going to see the next time it crest? How high do you think it'll go?
Well, I think it can easily go to 1,200 for starters, and then it probably will feed upon itself and get back up to, or go to 2,000 on the gold. And, I have a lot of subscribers who are very heavily involved in gold-related assets. And they say, well, I've got another million here, I've got another 10,000, what do I do? And I say, well, you can buy more here. I know you've got a lot already, but then again, if you want, you can wait until we pass through 1,000 and then pay a higher price, knowing that we've broken out. But I say that to people who have positions or large positions. And, there's not much product out there, either in the coins or even in the shares. There's not much to choose from.
Well, that's why you see all these ads.
Back in 78, 79.
Yeah, when you had plenty of it. Well, no, I was saying that's why you see all the...
we had hundreds of stocks in South Africa, and I used to do them. They used to yield between 12 and 25% annually, the dividend. And, I bought stocks like Free State Gould at $8, and it went to $50. East Ram Proprietary and Durban Deep went from 35 cents to 51 and $54 in that time frame of 4 years. Of course, most of these companies aren't around anymore. But the point is, when the game really starts, it'll be something else. I mean, you'll pick up the paper and you'll see an MS-64 that was trading for $1,500 3 months before. They're selling for $5,000. Or you look at Agnico Eagle, which is selling around 53, and now it's selling, could be selling at 144. I mean, these are the kind of moves you're going to see. And I've been there. I've been in every bull market in gold since 1960.
Now, Bob, the point I was going to make is you see these ads everywhere, in print, on TV, radio, sell your old gold, and they give them way under what it's worth. Folks, what does that tell you when there's all these ads trying to buy your gold? That's because there's a shortage everywhere, and and companies are trying to buy this stuff up right now. Most coin dealers still have very low supplies of gold and silver. It's way jacked up prices.